Hey, what is going on, guys? I am Chris Luck, and today I'm gonna show you some tripod tips and camera tips as well to not get shaky shots like I got the other night chasing the Aurora. I was in a rush. The tide was coming in. The tide was about to be blocking our path to get back to the beach, so we had to make it quick, and I just wanted to shoot a pano and take 5 or 6 vertical shots and get a wide angle shot like this one. And you'll notice that there's some shakiness in the stars, and there are a few things that can cause this, and today I'm going to talk about everything that can happen. Let's go ahead and start with the camera. So got my tripod here. This is actually the tripod that I use, and I actually am not a big fan of it. Definitely tip number 1 here is to get a tripod that's sturdy. And with tripods, I never thought you got what you pay for, but you definitely do get what you pay for when it comes to tripods. This is a Mactrum. I got it on Amazon. I do not recommend it. All right, so first let's take the camera off and talk about some stuff that can happen on the camera here. And I have an L bracket here, which is attached to a Peak Design mount, so I can clip it on my backpack. That's not the issue. Everything is tight here on the tripod, but you do want to make sure everything is tight. The L bracket is tight, the mount is tight, everything is tight. Now, when I shot vertical, there could be a situation where it didn't like the fact that I had the L bracket extended for my microphone. So definitely you do want to make this tight if you are shooting with an L bracket. Just something to attend to and kind of notice the next time you shoot. I don't think that was the reason. I'm pretty sure the reason was I actually didn't take off my vibration compensation, but there were so many issues that could have caused this. I'm not exactly sure, and I fixed them all, and I'm going to make sure that you guys know what I did. So when you use a long exposure and you have your camera on a tripod, if your lens has a vibration compensation or image stabilization, definitely turn that off for long exposure photography. Okay, that's pretty much everything out of the camera. One other thing that I don't do, a lot of people tell you to do it. I don't personally care for it, but you come over here to your settings, and when you go to shoot, you want to switch from whatever you're shooting, single shot or whatever, and switch to a 2-second timer. That way, when you let go, everything has a chance to settle before it starts taking the photo. I just kind of hold it and then slowly let go. That's how I take my long exposure shots, but just something to kind of focus on. That's everything on the camera that can go wrong. Make sure everything's tight, 2-second timer, lens stabilization is off. So I'm gonna put this away and I'm gonna bring out the tripod. I'm gonna show you everything that could be loose on your tripod. A lot of tripods will actually come with an Allen wrench here. This is what I got, and it works for all the joints and everything on here. So the first thing you'll see is right up in here is a screw. Sometimes the plate holder can get loose, so you want to make sure that is nice and snug. All right, that's as tight as it can get. The next thing could be the ball head. Well, make sure the ball head is tight when you have everything tight, but where the ball head attaches to the tripod itself, sometimes that could be loose, so you want to make sure that thing is on there pretty good, and mine is now. That was a little loose for me, and that could have been a problem that I've had. Moving down are these joints here, right here, and they take an Allen key as well. That controls how tight it is when you pull it out, and that was a little loose on one of them, so I tightened that up. And then the next thing you want to do is make sure these clips are all tight, and you just do that. Make sure it's not going anywhere. And that's everything that can be loose on the tripod, except for these. Like, this thing has an extender, so you can loosen it here, bring it up. I just keep that as tight as possible, and I only use the legs. Now, speaking of legs, you can, on some of these tripods, take these rubber plates off here. and you could just take that off and look at that. You can really dig that into the ground. I didn't do this for those shots, but I maybe should have. I was kind of had the tripod on some rocks. The tide was coming in, so I'm not sure if the tide was moving the tripod or I moved it, or if it was the lens stabilization. There's a lot that could have ruined that shot there, but make sure your tripod is nice and level. One tip is to just have it where you want it, have every leg even, and if you put the tripod on uneven ground, you could just undo one of the bases and kind of just push it down, and then that way it'll end up even. That way you don't have to mess with these things. This tripod lets you extend it out further. I don't like that. I always find I can't find a solid base, so that's something that I don't like to do, but you might like it. Let me figure out where there we go. So the tripod is nice and steady now. There could be some aurora tonight. There is a CME hitting Earth, but unfortunately we are so clouded right now. It rained all day, spent all day in the driveway cleaning that up, that heavy wet snow. Now everything's an icy mess, but if it does somehow clear up, which Astrophysics says it could, I will be out, and I will try to get another panel and see what could be, if there's anything else that could have caused the issue. This is just a piece of trash tripod, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely spend a little bit extra money on a tripod. I promise that will be worth it. But anyway, guys, I hope this helped you out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Like, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, see ya.